watch. He's just going to rip through this routine with some pretty exciting moves.
This is the calm before the storm. Is he just...
Look at those guns. That's some serious biceps. Double back. Not bad. And again. If Cheney lacks anything on this event, it's the body line and the rhythm that you'll see from some of the great Russians. But he certainly... Oh, no. I was just going to say he certainly had the difficulty in that exercise.
Absolutely. Plenty of difficulty.
It's coming apart for the Americans on the parallel bars after getting through the vault. And beautiful start on the rings. Scott Keswick has a fall, and now Cheney Humphrey. Alexander Shostak now on the high bar for Belarus.
The layout, full twist.
We'll be back with more gymnastics here in the team competition shortly. Russia holding on to the lead here after the third rotation in men's team gymnastics here at the Goodwill Games. United States in second and Belarus third. Quick update on the scores. Alexei Nemov had a 9-7 on the floor. Cheney Humphrey a 9-1 on the parallel bars. A 9-2-5 for Alexander Shostak on the high bar. Well, in my opinion, this is a critical event for the United States. Coming off a disastrous performance on the parallel bars, Blaine Wilson will hope to get the ball rolling once again for the U.S., who lost quite a bit of ground to Belarus.
Nice, full over the bar, right into another one.
One thing you have to love about Blaine Wilson's style, he's very assertive. He doesn't back off. He seems very aggressive in all of his movements. That's a beautiful full pirouette to an eagle.
Landing's very important here. Very good landing.
That's the kind of guy you want to lead off for the team. He seems consistent and solid, very aggressive. He's not going to make a mistake, is he?
This routine can get them back on track. And they need to do that. Full twisting double back. And look at that. He just decided, I am not moving my feet.
On the floor now, Ivan Pavlovsky from Belarus.
Nice Arabian double front.
We are seeing some really incredible gymnastics. Technique is great. The acrobatics is wonderful. The style and execution, just perfect. In this competition, we don't have Ivan Ivankov, the current world champion, or Vitaly Sherba, one of the greatest of all times, and yet we are seeing some really wonderful gymnastics.
I think he took a look over his shoulder at the clock just to make sure he wasn't going to be under time. Did you see that? Standing right in the corner, just glanced over.
He's thinking, when is that bell supposed to go off?
I looked over to see if it was his coach he was looking for.
The bell signals after 50 seconds that he has 20 seconds with which
he
to
hadn't
complete
heard it.
his
It worried
exercise,
him.
and he was
it
waiting.
was at 48 seconds. I looked once he turned around and looked.
Now to the horse, Dmitry Vasilenko from Russia. They're our team leaders. Isn't this something? Look, he has to touch. Oh, no. That was going so beautifully, and he was doing one of the most difficult combinations you can do, a flare without touching the pommels in the center of the horse.
He just caught his leg on the pommel.
You have to love his body line and straight form, execution. And look how fast he's going. That's impressive to the judges that he is in that much control. That's too bad he had the fall, because this was going to be a huge score for Russia.
He's a very young gymnast, 18 years of age. And
he had his hands outside the pommels with the flare. It's a long reach, and he just nicked his leg. Drew Durbin from the United States on the high bar. This is his best event. And boy, when he's on, he can really fly here.
Gaylord, too. Oh, no.
And a good save.
Yeah.
Very beautiful combination. His form is good, isn't it?
It's beautiful. I love the combination of difficulty and the variety. Double twisting layout, double layout, dismount. All right, you're right, it's his best event. I thought the parallel bars were kind of up for grabs. They're both very good.
His coach, Peter Corman, underneath the bar, spotting him on this Gaylord 2 invented by Mitch Gaylord from the U.S. He was in a little close on that stall there, but kept it going.
That was a beautiful cover.
Big 10 set all over. That's very good. You did the right
So the United States getting it back together after a disastrous parallel bar performance. The score over on the pommel horse for Vasilenko, a low 8.7. This is Vitaly Rudnitsky, Belarus.
He pulled that out. Just a little low on that final element. Both teams from Belarus and Russia pay such close attention to the details, the hand movements, the toe point.
Ivan Pavlovsky, a 9-2 on his floor exercise routine. Blaine Wilson, a 9-2 in the high bar.
Just a little bit short. A lot of difficulty in the routine.
Drew Durbin for the United States scored a 9-4 in the high bar, so things looking good for the United States over there. We go now to the pommel horse, Voropayev from Russia.
On the first place,
I think it's done so much for his confidence to win the silver medal at the World Championships.
29.05.
He's attacking competition even much more aggressively.
That's right, he beat the great Vitaly Sherba, who won the bronze at the Worlds.
Russia, 28.525.
Oh, no. Oh. Very strange. It was on really a nothing part. Oh, and a little bit off the mat on the landing.
Things coming apart for the Russian team over there. Vasilenko had only an 8.7. See what happens here. You know, the irony of that move is called a Russian Moor. Well, we'll be back with more gymnastics here in the team competition. Coach Steve Nuno and Peggy Liddick, coaches of Shannon Miller and the entire U.S. team, women's team that came here to compete. Scott Keswick from the United States on the high bar. This will be a critical routine for him. We've said before he's hot and cold. He had a disaster on the parallel bars, and he has been a finalist at the Worlds on the high bar. Let's see if he can get it together.
This is the crucial point. Right there.
Nice.
And he's right on.
Scott Keswick from the United States on the high bar. This will be a critical routine for him. We've said before he's hot and cold. He had a disaster on the parallel bars, and he has been a finalist at the Worlds on the high bar. Let's see if he can get it together.
This is the crucial point. Right there.
Nice.
And he's right on. He has a risky dismount planned. And
oh,
That's a tough fall. I think he's okay. But he was so high and far away from the bar, he had to do that half turn and come down on his back.
He knew right when he swung through the bottom that he was pitching that too far forward and out. Now, this has happened to Scott Keswick before.
I really thought he was through the risky part. Normally, when he gets that first release move, he's on.
You continue the routine from where you fell off after a 30-second break. He does a triple for a dismount. That's too bad for Scott Keswick. He had a great ring routine, an excellent vault, and now a disastrous parallel bars and high bar. On the floor now for Belarus, this is Andrei Khan. Beautiful opening tumbling run.
The best results of the team, Russia.
Interesting combination of dance-like skills. You don't see it quite as often in men's gymnastics.
Score on the floor for Rudnitsky was a 9.35. The disappointment for Voropayev on the horse, an 8.85.
The third result of the team of USA.
Triple twist. Very nice dismount. A little trouble on the landing. But it's nice to see difficulty like that performed at the end of the routine.
Now on the horse, Alexei Nemov. Russia needs a strong performance here. They've been sloppy on the pommel horse. Keep in mind, one of the things that judges are looking for, combinations where he travels across the horse not using the pommels, as he's showing there. Very much difficulty in that sequence. He hasn't touched the pommels until he climbed up just there. Good form. Starting to get tired. Oh, no. You could tell his arms were getting a little heavy in the last part of the routine. That's a shame.
The routines have gotten so much longer because of the new code of points.
Exactly.
They're requiring such a high level of difficulty in order to get it all in. It's extended the length of the routine. It's tough.
Such beautiful form and execution, and you just ran out of gas at the end. Andrei Khan on the floor had a 9.35 for Belarus. Now to Cheney Humphrey on the high bar. He was a finalist this year at the World Championships, just missing the medals, placing 4th.
And he was immensely popular in Australia. Sure, a lot of them wanted to see him win the bronze medal.
Popular with the young ladies, by the way, wasn't he? In the paper, commenting on his physique. After that mistake by Scott Keswick, this is a very important routine for the United States here.
He has some of the highest release moves ever.
He does 4 in a row if he's on. There's 3 and 4. Can you believe that? Hard to believe you can muscle a release move, but I think he just did. You hear that leather squeaking on the high bar. Way to go for Cheney Humphrey. A very important routine for the United States in this team competition. I'll show you what I mean by muscling a release move. These were well done, right out at the end of his fingertips. Watch how he catches the 4th release move in this sequence. He pulls it in very close, and yet he just cranks it with those biceps and triceps, pushes it away, and keeps the movement going. That was great. And the score for Cheney Humphrey on the high bar, a 9.35. So let's take a look at our team standings. Russia holding on to the lead. United States in second, just slightly, 0.2 of a point, ahead of Belarus. Let's go back to the studio and Fred Hickman and Nick Charles. Events